I cannot believe that I'm making a video about this now. But here it is. Hi. If you don't know my name, my name is Giovanni, but if you do know my name, and if you watch my videos, hi. My God. I looked on my phone to see if, okay. I'm someone who just wants to know. I'm someone who wants to know about spoilers concerning some movie, TV show, game, or whatever. And sure, it sounds absolutely stupid and selfish and unnecessary, but I can't help but know what happened or know what the story actually is without witnessing it. It sounds crazy. It sounds absolutely crazy. But from what I saw, mostly on Reddit, apparently people were not happy. I mean, the gameplay of The Secret of the Mimics is awesome. The, the environment is awesome, but the story, especially involving stuff in the past, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. A really big problem. If The Secret of the Mimic was trying to, I don't know, include stuff that was already implemented in the past and focus on the past, because The Secret of the Mimic takes place in, I don't know, the late 1970s or whatever. Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do with it, especially. So, the Mimic is seen broken. He's still active, but broken. He's absolutely unhinged. To the point where it's not even recognizable to the one in Ruin, in Security Breach Ruin, where the Mimic just looked like the rusty endoskeleton. I mean, then again, Tales from the Pizzaplex confirms that the Mimic hiding out that in that being trapped in that barrier was basically part of the sinkhole, was Edwin's costume manner, and yeah, yeah. I mean that is a connection right there, but seriously, the Mimic in Secret of the Mimic, I can't speak. The Mimic in Secret of the Mimic, and then the Mimic in Ruin, are they really the same? I don't think so. Especially with that. I mean, retcons are just retcons. I know that. People were talking about Scott Cawthon's FNAF retcon, or whatever it was, what kind of retcon that he was referring to, but it's pretty clear to me that retcons are just retcons. They can happen for a reason or no reason whatsoever. It's not a big deal. But to FNAF, To FNAF fans, it is. And theorists, if they even care about FNAF in the first place. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions about anything that people have said on Reddit, but it's pretty clear that the tales from the Pizzaplex books are no longer canon to the games. I mean, I probably already had my suspicion. I can't speak! I already had my suspicions about it, but, the books, not canon. I mean, they're not even straightforward stories. They're just full of weird stuff that Scott added because he thought it would make a great story. Like, they are canon material by him, but he wasn't the one to write those books. The writers were mostly, what I can see from their names, women. They were women who probably, half the time either knew or didn't know about FNAF. And I'm just like, why, Scott? Why? You have a franchise that at first was a simple indie horror game just about a security guard surviving 5 nights at a pizzeria with haunted, possessed animatronics trying to kill them. But now, it's about a convoluted story about a corrupted company that's absolutely bankrupt to the point that they're willing to do anything. Sorry. My body. It's now about a convoluted plot about a corrupt company that's going completely bankrupt. That's going bankrupt and will absolutely do anything to stay in line, to stay financially developed, create more mayhem, create more stuff to get more money, but yeah, they're just gonna. What even is the future of FNAF? Is there ever going to be a sequel game continuing where we left off in the present? I don't know. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Okay. So, the story of the mimic is absolutely convoluted. I'm just gonna say it. When I first heard about the Mimic, or at least people talking about the Mimic, I had no idea why they were even thinking that the Mimic would be involved in the Ruin DLC. I thought it was going to be something else, maybe Burntrap returning and Vanny still being around, but no, it wasn't that. It was about some violent, unhinged endoskeleton that just wanted to kill people because it was angry. What kind of story is that? That's not a story. Would I even call it a story? No. Would I even call The Secret of the Mimic a story-based game? Probably not. I mean, I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but people are not happy with some of the story choices that Steel had for The Secret of the Mimic. It almost felt like a huge retcon, or retcon to the books even, making the books non-canon to the games at all. You know, I had my doubts about The Secret of the Mimic. Okay, at first, I didn't have high hopes for the game, and I still stand by it. Mostly because of the story surrounding it. Okay, I don't know how to properly speak at this point. And the involvement of Henry William just erases them from their original stories and just repurposes them as nothing. I don't know how to say this, but people on Reddit weren't happy. Some things did make sense, like, I don't know, William stealing stuff from Edwin and even Henry. Like, that might be understandable, but, like, and the whole Fall Fest thing, yeah, it's never going to be specified about the actual, like, carnival or event or whatever. But there was a fire that happened in 1978. Not 1970 or 1983, 1978. So that confirms when the fire takes place. Maybe. Sorry. My body is absolutely out of control. My lips, my nose, my throat. Ugh. I freaking hate my body. Why can't it just die? Sorry. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't. Like I said, I do not want to jump to conclusions. But if anyone would explain the story of The Secret of the Mimic fully and try to connect the dots of the whole FNAF timeline spiel, I'm willing to hear it. I'm willing to hear it. Even if it might hurt my brain. Shut up, body. Shut up. Sorry. I don't know what to do about FNAF anymore. At this point, if FNAF didn't exist, I would be okay with it. I wouldn't complain about it. Like, if it was just one game or a story, an actual story that made sense, that was simple, that was consistent, everything would be fine. But no. 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 Everything is not fine. No, it is not. It is not. I feel like it's kind of like Ninja Gaiden Yaiba, where people just don't want to talk about that game and consider it non-canon to the Ninja Gaiden series. And I would probably say the same for Secret of the Mimic, even though it is a game produced and created by Steelwool, and it's not a spin-off game at all. But still, you know what? That's all for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.